TG Geeks, episode 387, July 18th, 2022. And the hits just keep on coming. Hello and welcome to another webcast from TGGeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of Geek-dom and Nerd-ery, sci-fi, comics, film, horror genre. You name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane, and we're coming to you from TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona, where we took a long weekend.
Yes, and I'm Ben Raggington, coming to you from a very restful Phoenix, Arizona, although, is it October yet?
I know, I can't wait. Let's get on with it.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the Two Gay Geeks are discussing this.
Well, we have a number of things to talk about.
It's just us again.
It's just us again. You've chosen some articles and stuff that half of it I don't know anything about.
Well, they will make for some interesting conversation, nevertheless.
Nevertheless, we'll have our regular birthday shout-outs, although I discovered this morning as I was doing the birthdays that they have changed that site that I used once again.
Again?
And it no longer resembles anything like what I was accustomed to. They used to have a whole list of people that you would go down page and page and page, and then I picked people, and now I have had to resort to other means to discover birthdays. So it's kind of an oddball birthday list this time. So we'll find something new soon. Have our featured podcast of the week, and we got some feedback this week, as well as our regular shout-outs. And in the second segment, we have some things to talk about, should we have time, and our wacky weekly recap. I should put that in there, wacky weekly recap, and then a regular shout out. So let's just get on with it. Wrong.
Oh, my.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
this is our first segment.
Yeah, first
This
segment.
has been a Keith.
Yeah.
The Two Gay Geeks.
Yeah, you're warned.
Talking about
all aspects of Geek-dom and Nerd-ery. Stuff, yes. Stranger Things has been a topic that is frequenting, however you want to put it. It's everywhere. Everybody's talking about Stranger Things. Since season 4 has ended on a really big cliffhanger, there were a lot of discussions about where this series is going to go, and one of the biggest topics has been the character of Will, as played by the actor Noah Schnapp. Now, everybody's been kind of wondering, is he gay? Is he not? And even the showrunners were being very, very cagey about all of this. Well, the truth is now out now. The actor was interviewed on a variety of sources, and this was reported on Variety, on the Variety website, Variety.com, and he did confirm, yes, Will is in fact gay, and he loves his best friend, Mike.
Yeah. We've all known that.
Yeah, well, I think, but I think a lot of people were kind of hoping that they would get some kind of a confirmation, or at least maybe get some kind of, I don't want to say a resolution, but some sort of an expression on this.
Yeah.
And from
what we kind of got something.
We did,
you know, and it was very touching.
What they showed us was really beautiful. In fact,
Yeah.
in this, I'll have the link for this story and all of the stories that we're going to cover in this episode. I'll have the link for this in the show notes for this episode number 387 at tggeeks.com. And the big thing is, though, he's really worried about rejection.
Right.
I don't think it's so much a case of and it's not really said if he's in love with Will. If Will is in love with Mike, that's never really outright stated. The actor sort of just keeps saying that he loves Will a great deal and that he kind of wants things to return to the way they were back at the beginning of the series in season 1 when they were just kind of hanging around playing D&D and all of that. So I think it's kind of interesting to see where they're going to take this. Will is going to be probably the focus of season 5.
Well, he was the focus of season 1.
Precisely. Since he's the one who's able to sense the Demogorgon and still has a perception of this dark thing from the Upside Down. So the actor said that he phoned up the showrunners and asked, what's happening? And are we going to address Will and all that? And they wouldn't give him an answer except to say that Will be the focus of this upcoming season 5. They're still hashing out the details yet, which basically means we have no idea when season 5 is going to come out. I'm desperately hoping for sooner, better than rather than later. They did point out one beautiful thing. Now, there is one episode in the later parts of 4 that I thought was really touching, and that's when Will has a heart-to-heart conversation with his older brother, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And Jonathan's, he's like,
he said, I will support you
I'm
no matter
support
what.
you. I've got you.
I will always love you.
I'm always going to love you. That was a last minute written scene.
Wow.
Because apparently when they're in the minibus driving,
right,
there's that beautiful scene where Will kind of turns away from Mike and he's like crying.
Right.
Jonathan sees that in the rearview mirror.
And he knows what's going on.
Well, there was something in that scene, something in the way they filmed that scene that I guess the Duffer Brothers, if they wrote this, they thought, oh, wait a minute, there's something here. So they quickly tacked on this little dialogue between the two of them when they're trying to hatch a plot to get to the bottom of all this, if you want to call it that. I'm trying to be non-spoilery here, people. But yeah, there was a last-minute written scene, and it was such a beautiful one.
It was.
And it gives me a lot of hope for what they're going to do with Season 5. Anyway, the word is out. Yes, Will is gay. You can take that one to the bank if you want. I just thought it was a really interesting kind of story, especially given all of the, I don't know.
All the stuff.
Yeah, all of the speculation that's going on. Now, moving on.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit more because Noah and whoever she is, I don't know who she is.
Elle?
No, Doja Cat.
Oh, Doja Cat.
Yes.
Yes.
So there was this kerfuffle that happened.
Yeah, he said something on social media, and Noah Schnapp, he admits, I am not a serious person. I'm a goofball on social media. I was just being silly. And apparently she took offense to it. He said he apologized when he realized what happened, and he said, I was just being stupid. And she took it well. She says, all is forgiven. It's all over and done.
Well, before that, apparently she messaged him and wanted to get in contact with what was his name? Eddie, is it?
Oh, the guy plays Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, and then Noah shared that, and then it all blew up, and it caused a lot of consternation. I think the interesting thing is that I really think that Doja Cat was kind of interested in the character, not the actor. Because if you look at the actor,
he's nothing like Eddie.
He's nothing like Eddie.
No.
And she's kind of an out there,
free spirit.
Yeah. And that's what Eddie appears to be.
Yeah, Eddie comes off that way too,
with his long hair and his his
crazy behavior.
Yeah,
Eddie's I will say he really grew on me in a big way. Especially, we're going off the subject here, people, but I have to talk about this. When we first meet Eddie, I'm kind of like, he's the kind of nerd I would not have wanted to hang around with. But when they had that final D&D campaign during the basketball tournament, and they win basically.
Right.
At this campaign, they get away with their lives, and there was just something in his behavior and all of that I thought, oh, I really like this guy. He would be a really fun DM.
Yeah, and he kind of grew on me too, and he really was. He was a misunderstood,
very misunderstood
person.
fellow.
So anyway,
so
that's what.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Now there's some talk about what's going to happen after Stranger Things is over. Well, apparently they're
going to retire and take their money and run.
Well, no, now this isn't one of the magazines that I subscribe to. One of the electronic magazines I subscribe to is called The Pit. It's a heavy metal rocker e-zine, if you want to call it that. And because of now the reason they attach this story to this, I think, is a bit of a. It's sort of a 6 degrees kind of thing. Hold on a minute. I was losing the sound in my headphones. The article reads, Stranger Things creators announce new project based on Stephen King's story and Stranger Things spin-off. So, as reported by Variety, the Duffer Brothers have recently announced spin-offs associated with the Netflix show as well as a Stephen King-related project. The Duffer Brothers announced a new production company called Upside Down. That's cute. There are no official details at this time regarding the plot of this Stranger Things spinoff, but given how awesome the Netflix horror sci-fi show is, everyone is confident in what the brothers will come up with.
I think they're going to call it Stranger Kings.
Bum. Along with the spinoff series, the brothers are also working on
or Stephen Things.
Stephen Things?
That's just for you, Chuck.
Yeah.
And Things.
Right. Along with the spin-off series, the brothers are also working on a stage play based in the world of the show. Anyway, Ted Sarandos, the co-CEO and chief content officer of Netflix, said, the Duffer Brothers are exceptionally unique talent with a vision so crisp and clear. They're all about the details. It's no accident that Stranger Things has pierced the zeitgeist to become the epic pop culture phenomenon it is today. And yeah, it is, especially for us older people who remember the 80s. We're excited to continue telling new stories with them as they grow Upside Down Pictures and to welcome Hillary, I'm not sure who Hillary is, as a creative partner.
Okay.
Yeah, it also says they're working on an adaptation of the Stephen King and Peter Straub novel, The Talisman. This adaptation will be a series, and when it comes to Stephen King-related anything, the people are very much on board. Fun side note, when they were interviewed, horror director and composer John Carpenter, when they interviewed John Carpenter earlier this year, apparently he had some very lovely things to say about Stephen King. Well, isn't that nice? Anyway, I'm very excited at the idea. I mean, especially, I love the way the Duffer Brothers were able to craft this absolutely gorgeous horror series. It was such an eye feast.
Yeah.
It really was. It's one of the most incredible things I've watched in a very long time. I'm sure most everybody else kind of agrees with me. Anyway, moving on. I'm only talking about this little story a little bit because I'm going to use this as a jumping point, if you will.
And I have no clue what this is about.
I've actually seen a little bit of it. Apple TV Plus renews Maya Rudolph's Loot. Right.
Nothing.
Stop. Apple TV Plus renews Maya Rudolph's.
Who the hell is she?
Oh, stop it. You've seen her. You've seen her. Maya Rudolph's Loot for season 2 before first season finale. Now, I'm not going to go into details too much about this series. It's just about a very rich, almost privileged woman who finds out her husband has been cheating on her, and she kind of remakes her life. It's a comedy. That's not the point of this particular area in this. It's not what I want to get to.
Oh.
What my
then why the heck do you put it on here?
Because it gives me an opportunity to talk about Apple TV Plus.
Oh.
And the success that Apple TV Plus is really undergoing.
Yeah,
now, when it first started,
some great stuff.
When it first started, it was kind of like, okay, that looks maybe interesting. I might be able to get into that.
I'm not paying for that crap.
No, but Then they started introducing some. Well, I remember when they made mention of Foundation,
Right.
and I'm like, I have to watch that. And then we saw other really wonderful shows, Slow Horses, which I thought was brilliant, and Severance.
Oh my God!
And then they just completely shattered the ceiling when they had the Apple TV Plus original movie Coda that got several Academy Awards. With all of that, you and I have finally had an opportunity to revisit. We tried to watch this one series, and it bombed out on us after the first episode. We didn't go back to it. We forced ourselves to watch it again, and now we can't stop, and we are talking about For All Mankind.
Yeah, and I think there was a hangover. We tried another series that was an alternate.
It might have been.
History as well at the same time. And I think we watched one and then the other one, and we just had
I think we may have a burnout,
a bit of burnout hangover, and
we might have been trying too many new shows at the same time.
But oh my gosh, this For All Mankind! I mean, we've
been blazing through it.
Yeah, we're going to be caught up by the end of this weekend.
Yeah, and we just found out this series is still in production.
Yeah, not in production, but
new episodes are still being released. Whether it's still in production or not, I don't know anything about potential season 4. What little I've read seems to indicate that season 3 is the end of it.
Interesting.
Hard to say the way it's playing out.
It's incredible.
But this is one of the most amazing shows I've watched in a very long time. I think the cast is fantastic.
Yep.
They're really great, and to see how history changed.
Exactly. Through various things that happened. Yeah.
All based on one little alteration, and that is the Russians landed on the moon before we did.
Exactly.
And how that changed everything.
Yep. What adult says, dang it?
I know. That was a brilliant. There's a lot of humor in this show, too. A lot of really good humor. It's a fantastic show. I love this. I love this series. I'm very anxious to see where it goes. And they have delivered some breathtaking, suspenseful thriller moments.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, the wrap up.
Good science.
The science in this is very sound. I'm really impressed with it. But I want to say there's a really good synergy between hard science and good character development.
Yeah.
On this show.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a good story, then all the hard science, or the good science fiction, whatever you want to call it, that means nothing. And I'm saying that now as a precursor to some feedback we're going to get in a bit. I think the science is great. I think the storytelling is great. And the way season 2 ended, I mean, I was shattered.
Yep.
Absolutely shattered at the way season 2 ended. I'm not going to say it. I mean, even though the series has been out for, season 2's been out for, well over a year. I'm not going to say it anyway in case anybody hasn't watched it. I don't want to give any spoilers. Yeah. I will say, please watch this series if you haven't. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what I wanted to say on that subject. Now, moving on. Because of the enormous success of the last Spider-Man movie that brought a couple of previous Spider-Man...
The last Spider-Man movie?
The last one we just had.
Oh, I mean, not the last.
Not the last, although it might still be.
You never know.
Well, it's all up to Sony.
Yeah, true.
Sony has to make a decision. I mean, is the last one Tom Holland? It might be, as far as him helming his or being the star of his own movie. It might be. We don't know, because Sony. Last I read, Sony has not agreed to that. But because of the incredible popularity of bringing back previous Spider-Man actors, because it was a multiverse movie, Spider-Man, yes, Andrew Garfield, who was in, don't shoot me, people, The Adventures of Spider-Man, I think it was. He had 2 movies. He has officially signed a deal for future movies with Marvel.
Ooh.
Now, so the article reads this. Andrew Garfield isn't finished. Oh, and this is on Social Junkie, by the way. Andrew Garfield isn't finished with Marvel yet. Garfield is returning for more in Spider-Man No Way Home, following his instantly classic team-up with Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire versions of Peter Parker. Now, the writer says, our reliable source has confirmed, so take this with a grain of salt, has confirmed that the Oscar-nominated actor has agreed to return for more Marvel films. The filming of this announcement could reveal a lot about how Andrew Garfield will return to Marvel. Just last week, Kevin Feige all but confirmed what most Marvel comic fans already suspected. The next big Marvel Cinematic Universe event will be based on the 2015-2016 Marvel Comics mega crossover Secret Wars. That is no secret in of itself, pun intended. We've known about that for a while. They've been leading up to that for some time now, and even I think a Nick Fury series on Disney Plus is going to address that. If the film is anything like the source material, it will necessitate more alternate universe versions of established Marvel characters than ever before. When Marvel Comics relaunched both Avengers and New Avengers in 2013, Jonathan Hickman wrote both titles and crafted a long-form story about the heroes dealing with something mentioned in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The Illuminati, who all got killed in the last Doctor Strange movie, of Marvel Comics began secretly protecting their reality from incursions or instances of two timelines threatening to collide, potentially destroying both. Anyway, so there's more to this article. Again, I will have the link for that. But I think it's kind of cool because that they're getting Andrew Garfield to come back. I know a lot of people wanted to see his return because his second Spider-Man movie was rather greeted poorly. Critics didn't like it. I don't think it did well in the box office. It was basically, a lot of people thought it was not a good film. So he managed to get, in Spider-Man No Way Home, Andrew Garfield managed to get a bit of, I guess you could call it sort of a redemption as an actor for his part. So it is nice to see him come back. I'm very excited to see where they may go with this. And then lastly, and I'm just going to just touch on this really quickly. The Orville this season has been absolutely mind-blowing.
It has.
In both substance and visuals. The visuals in this film, or in the series, excuse me, have been amazing. And there's this article that was on, who reported this? AWN.com, AnimationWorldNetwork.com. reported, did you realize that the VFX producer Brooke Noska helped 14 vendors develop more than 7,000 shots?
My Lord.
In the long-awaited third season of this sci-fi comedy. And I think that might explain one of the reasons, I don't know, maybe that's one of the reasons why it took so long for the series to get finished.
Yeah, it's possible.
Or maybe there were other reasons that caused the series to take so long that they thought, well, since we have the opportunity, let's go ahead and just, milk it for what it's worth in getting all these visual effects shots out. In any case, I'm glad it worked out the way that it did because this is the most stunning season of the Orville yet. In an unrelated article, maybe it is related, I did read Seth MacFarlane say that any chance for season 4 is completely up to Disney, which means that right now there has been no talk at all from Disney right now. And given some of the things that are going on at the Disney company at this point, who knows? They might have bigger things to worry about. So we'll just have to wait and see. In any case, if you haven't checked out the Orville this season because you didn't care for seasons 1 and 2. Check it out anyway. I think you will. I'm pretty sure you will not be disappointed. A lot of people that were on the fence for seasons 1 and 2 are just crying from the mountaintop how much they love season 3, and the two.
I'm pretty
very happy with the way the Orville has been looking right now. So anyway, that's pretty much our first segment.
Yep.
Hey everybody, Jason Carney here. Phoenix Film Festival. You want to know about movies, you want to know about anything in the geek world, you're listening to the Two Gay Geeks.
Well, here's a few selected birthdays for July 18th through July 24th, 2022. July 18th, John Glenn, astronaut and senator. We saw him in For All Mankind in the
His
early...
character, yep.
Yep. And he was a Marine Corps pilot, engineer, and astronaut, and then became a senator from Ohio and served 24 years or so.
Then he went back up.
Yep.
In
And
a space shuttle.
first man to orbit the Earth, and he also flew on Discovery STS-95 at the age of 77.
He was the first man to orbit the Earth?
Yep.
I thought it was Alan Shepard.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, no. That's why John Glenn was so famous.
Oh, okay. shows you what I know about history.
Yep. He was the last of the Mercury 7 astronauts when he died at age 95 in 2016.
I knew a couple
Wow.
people. He came to a Phoenix convention, what was originally CopperCon. He came and visited, and some friends actually had a chance to talk to him and said he was just one of the coolest people ever.
Yep. Vin Diesel, actor, I Am Groot.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious movies, is a fan of Dungeons and Dragons and a friend of the LGBTQ
He is,
community.
the man is such a mensch. I truly like him a
Yep,
great deal.
yep. July 19th, Brian May.
Dr. Brian May.
Dr. Brian May, sorry.
Thank you. He has his PhD in astrophysics.
His FUD.
His FUD in astrophysics.
Yep. Anything else you want to say about him?
The man is, yeah.
I left it blank for you.
Well, with help from his dad, because they didn't have a lot of money, they actually built an electric guitar called the Red Special. Oh, by the way, Rolling Stone regarded Brian May as the best guitarist of the world,
Oh.
beating out Jimi Hendrix. And why is he? Well, because he was like one of the musical geniuses behind the band Queen.
Oh,
and this.
really?
Oh, stop! Don't even go there. Don't.
Oh, he's the guy with the long curly hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you have had the privilege and pleasure of seeing that man in concert live twice.
Yes, he's a very good guitarist.
The man is not just a technological genius, but he's also a musical one. I mean, he created. He has this sort of echo machine. I'm not quite sure how he actually did it. It's very analog in structure, believe it or not. He does not use digital devices. He never used digital devices in doing his echo solos. It's all done through analog means, which I thought was amazing. But what he did, and which I think is amazing, is he would craft a solo and get these two echoes to follow, perfectly spaced, so that he has a 3-part harmony going on with himself.
Interesting.
And the fact that he could actually start making notes that would harmonize with what he has played, as well as take the music in a new direction so that he could continue harmonizing while crafting the melody line, I think is just beyond brilliant. I mean, I would love to see what this man's neurological scans look like, because I've never seen a better example of left and right hemispheres working in harmony together like his do. I mean, the man must have an IQ that I can't believe.
Yeah.
But he is truly one of my guitar heroes. I worship the man.
Then we have Pat Hingle, actor.
Mr. Haney?
No.
Oh, that's not Mr. Haney?
That's not Mr. Haney.
Oh.
He's, as with most actors of a certain age, he did a lot of TV and TV movies in the late 60s, 70s, and even into the 80s.
Yeah.
He continued on in the 90s, still doing some TV, but moved mostly to movies with Batman and then Batman and Robin as Commissioner Gordon.
Ah.
Yes. And then we have a friend of ours, Zach Owen, Paul Gravel, and Lori Iwansky.
Happy birthday.
July 20th, Diana Rigg, actress, Emma Peel in The Avengers. She was in a Doctor Who episode in 2013.
Yes, she was.
Game of Thrones, and then her career took off again at the age of 80-something.
I know. It was it was wonderful. I mean, that they got her for Game of Thrones. She became like a breakout character.
Yep. Sadly, she died at the age of 82 in 2020.
Yeah.
And then we have Mike Ilitch, founder of Little Caesars. He at one time
Little Sleezers.
Yep, owned the Detroit Red Wings and the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, no kidding.
Was quite the philanthropist. He gave away a ton of money. And he even quietly paid Rosa Parks rent after she had been attacked in her apartment in 1994.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that man's stock has gone way up for me.
Yeah, so she could live in a safe space.
Oh, God bless the man.
And then we have also on July 20th, friends of ours, Jeff Baker and Rebecca Stiles, a former classmate of mine, and Matt Lancelotti.
Oh, happy birthday.
July 21st, Ernest Hemingway, author for Whom the Bell Tolls, as well as many other novels, had a residence in Key West, Florida, and Cuba in the 40s and 50s, and then moved to Ketchum, Idaho. And he actually began to worry after the later part of World War II that the FBI and the CIA were kind of watching him. And
why? Did they think he had communist ties?
Oh, who knows? But they actually were. So, and it really took a toll on his psyche. And he
what a shame.
Eventually killed himself. Then we have Jean Picard.
Oh, okay. This is interesting.
Born in France in 1620, he was an astronomer who accurately calculated the size of the Earth. He also owned a vineyard called Chateau Picard.
You're kidding me.
Wink, wink. No.
Oh, I was going to say, you had me going.
But you never know. He, as Jean-Luc says next, was it in the Picard series. He says, come from a long line of Picards. This Picard did that, and this Picard did that.
Actually, he does it.
And Franklin smote the ground and outsprung George Washington on his horse. And
they conducted the entire war together.
And Franklin, Washington,
and
the horse,
and Picard, the horse. Wow. Okay, you had me going there for a minute. No, but I kind of get a sense now of where Gene Roddenberry came up with the character of Jean-Luc Picard.
Certainly possible, yeah. And then we have a friend of ours, Sam Lowry. Happy birthday. July 22nd, Louise Fletcher.
Oh, she's another one I love.
Actress, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Deep Space Nine as Kai Wynn.
Oh, she was so evil in that.
In Big Eden as Grace.
Oh, I adore her as Grace.
She's been quite busy, just busy
Good.
acting. Yeah.
Good. She's an amazing actress.
Yep. And then Alan Menken, composer of the music of Disney. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. He's like took over where the Sherman Brothers left off.
Exactly. And wrote several soundtracks with Howard Ashman, including giving Ariel her voice.
Yes.
July 23rd, Ronnie Cox, actor, RoboCop, Total Recall, TNG, among others. He usually plays tough guys.
Yeah, he can actually play a good guy very well, but he so seldom does it.
Yeah.
I think he just relishes the bad guy.
Yeah, he's also
a lot more.
A singer and songwriter, a folk musician.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, he was in the movie Deliverance.
Yeah.
With Burt Reynolds, and played the guitar in the dueling banjo sequence.
Yeah. And then Daniel Radcliffe, actor, Harry Potter himself.
Harry Potter. Have to emphasize the P and the T in there.
Yes. And he's actually a very good friend of the LGBTQ community.
Very supportive, as evidenced by the Trevor Project's segment we play every episode.
Every episode, yeah. July 24th, Amelia Earhart, aviation pioneer, set many records and was one of the first aviators to promote commercial air travel. In 1937, she was attempting a circumnavigation of the Earth when her plane was lost in the Pacific. And then we have Marvin the Martian.
Oh, yes.
Made his first appearance on July 24th, 1948 in Haredevil Hair, a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
The Ludium Q-36 explosive space modulator.
Yes.
That creature is stolen the space modulator.
Yes. And then we have my cousin, Carol Chernich, who was born on the same date as my mother. My
how about that?
Birthday today, or July 24th. And my brother, Bob Lane. Happy birthday.
birthday.
And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Hi, everybody. It's Beck and Hamish with the Fizz Popcast Radio Show. And we're asking you why you're not listening to our Fizz Popcast Radio podcast show now. I messed it up.
Wah, wah.
No, really, it's the Fizz Popcast Radio Show with Beck and Hamish. And after this show's over, go look it up and take a listen to it. Da-dum, da-dum. Dun,
Radio
dun.
show.
Woo!
Go give a listen to our friends Beck and Hamish over at the Fizz Popcast Radio Show.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counsellors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
We want to give a shout out, as always, to the Joshua Tree Feeding Program. They're a 501c3 nonprofit food pantry for the HIV and AIDS community in Maricopa and Pinal counties. They set it. They're a place where clients can select from a wide assortment of nutritional foods to take home, and they set it up just like a store so that the clients can pick and choose what they want, and it empowers them so no food is wasted. They also have a pet assistance project, so you can pick up. The clients can pick up things for their pets, whether it's pet food or cat litter or treats or other things that might be useful to having a pet. And they also have a second distribution day for the gender nonconforming community that may be experiencing food insecurity regardless of HIV status. Right now, they are in a little bit of a crunch, so they could certainly use your help. If you wish to consider supporting Joshua Tree, either through a single or a monthly recurring gift, you can go to jtfp.org.
And it's time for our feedback segment. These are comments that we received in response to articles and episodes that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com. And the links for each of these will be in the show notes for this episode number 387 at tggeeks.com, starting with regarding Hamish Downey's new sushi number 126, Morsels of News from Japan and Beyond. There was a comment from Thea Riley. Actually, this is her Twitter handle. Thea Riley, 2 a.m., tired eyes out now. Yeah. Anyway, she says, Happy Pride Month. Also, there was a comment from Strays of the World as a music group of sorts, I believe, that appeared in Hamish's Morsels of News from Japan and Beyond. And it said, thank you for the great thoughts on the one half of Chaos All. Can't wait for more reviews of the second half. Moving on, regarding TG Geeks episode number 384, got a comment from Tina Tersini de Bellegarde. We gave her a birthday shout out, and she says, so nice to be remembered. These are my first birthday wishes this year, and it's a big one. 60. You're in good company, honey.
Yeah.
And then moving on, we got a comment from Matt Ian Kelly, who also got a birthday shout out. He says, thank you, lovely gentlemen. Always a treat. And then we got a comment from Hamish Downey. Now, in this episode, we interviewed Zachary Wheeler, who has written a short story about a very fascinating character named Phil, who is from the Max and the Multiverse series. And Hamish said, there's a Phil story? I have to read this. I better listen and find out when it's released. So it's nice to know that Hamish is a fan of Zachary Wheeler.
Yep.
And then we close it off regarding TG Geeks episode number 382, and this is where we were having our little discussion about, light, fluffy, poppy sci-fi versus hard sci-fi. I've got a comment from Corey Nelson, a good friend of ours, and she left this on Twitter. She says, enjoyed your discussion on hard versus fluffy sci-fi. I like that. I think that's what we're going to call it from now on.
Yes, fluffy sci-fi.
Fluffy sci-fi.
You're fluffy.
Here, fluffy, yeah.
Fluffy.
I loved the Expanse show, hard sci-fi, based on the book series, which I'm starting soon. While the old TV show of Lost in Space was fluffy goodness, the updated one on Netflix was more hard sci-fi. Okay, I really hated that show. The sci-fi on it might have been good. It might have been a good hard sci-fi show, but, and this goes back to what I was saying regarding For All Mankind. If the story isn't being told well, then it doesn't matter to me. And I thought those were some of the worst told stories I have seen in a long time. I watched only the first 5 episodes, and then I couldn't watch any more because if we did, I would have had to shell out money for a brand new television set after I destroyed this one. Anyway,
don't do that.
Yeah, that's why I stopped watching it. I admit, people out there, you may think I liked it. Well, if you liked it, I'm glad for you. I hated it, and there it is, and that's our feedback.
If you want to leave a comment on anything that we publish, whether it's our episodes or articles or reviews or anything else, you can do that on our Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram. You can even comment on our episodes on YouTube, or you can comment on everything at tggeeks.com, and you could receive a shout out in a future episode. We also have a listener feedback line, and we want to hear from you. If you are interested in leaving us a voicemail, you can call 469-TG-Geeks. That is 469-844-3357. And as always, please play nice.
For more than 2 decades, Judy and Dennis Shepard have honored their son Matt by working to erase hate around the world. The Matthew Shepard Foundation honors his legacy by inspiring the good work of activists, teachers, artists, and legislators, and everyday LGBTQ+ folks and their allies. Join us today in helping to erase hate. Visit MatthewShepard.org.
Thank you to Comcast NBC Universal for that promo. Well, as everybody knows, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether it's filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others. We want you to support them as well. Go to their Etsy pages, their web pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any place that you can find them at conventions, which are kind of loosening up a little bit right now. Look at their stuff, talk them up, chat them up, chat other people up about their stuff, and please buy their stuff. Please consider supporting independent creators. If you are trans or are questioning your gender identity, and if you are in crisis or are feeling isolated and need someone to talk to, or you know of someone in a similar situation, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to translifeline.org to learn about the important work they are doing. Please reach out for help. You are not alone.
Yeah, baby. They're like 2 gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're 2 gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
Okay, so it's our second segment, and we're going to be very spoiler-free here. We had the pleasure, if you want to call it that, at seeing Thor: Love and Thunder, the latest movie to come from the Marvel Cinematic
That old
Universe.
thing?
Old? I hardly call it old. I'm going to have a review come out probably Tuesday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Which will be tomorrow if you're listening to this on Monday when this episode comes out. But just a little quick overhead. I did not like this movie. I mean, it was okay, but I didn't love it. And you're gonna get my thoughts when you see my review. But oh, honey, please tell me what did you think of this movie?
It was a silly movie.
Yeah, it was a very silly movie. I know that a lot of people are calling it a very gay movie, and okay, yeah, there is some of that. But I thought it was sillier than anything else.
Yeah, at the beginning. And then it just kind of, the first act and a half were silliness.
Lots of silliness.
Yep. That was my...
Just your big takeaway, that it's a very silly movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of felt like...
Camelot.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like Graham Chapman from Monty Python saying, well, on second thought, let's not watch Thor: Love and Thunder. It is a silly movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's my thought. Like I said, I'll go into greater detail, spoiler-free detail, but I'll give greater thoughts in my review, which comes out later this week. So, but yeah, quick thought on Thor: Love and Thunder. Save your money. Wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. Watch it for free.
Wait till it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's time for our weekly review. These are items that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com this past week, and the links for each of these will be in the show notes for this episode article 387 that you can find at tggeeks.com, and the links for the episode article itself will be on the three big major social media platforms. Starting with Sunday, July 10th, Nerdy Chupacabras number 108. On Monday the 11th, TG Geeks episode number 386. On Tuesday the 12th, Andrea's Angle, Don't Make Me Go, Unexpected and Emotional. On Wednesday the 13th, Andrea's Angle, Hallelujah, Leonard Cohen, A Journey, A Song, Profound and Moving Tribute. On Thursday the 14th, Andrea's Angle, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, Lovely and Romantic. I want to see that one out, especially after reading Andrew's review. On Friday the 15th, Hamish Downey's 5 Questions with Adam J. Yeend. And we close off the week the 16th, Endangered, available via VOD, July 26th. We have some shout-outs that we need to make. First to our good friend Arkle, Brian Weber. You can find him on Twitter. He's referred to as Brian the Ampersand List YouTuber. And if you want to actually search for him, you do it by looking for @Geek of All Trades. And geek is spelled the letter G, the number 3, the letter K of all trades. And we just give him a shout out because he has his Arkle Times Post Dispatch News, which does republish some of our content from time to time. And while you're looking for all things Arkle, go to his YouTube channel. That would be youtube.com/Arkle Studios. He's got a lot of stuff there that is very entertaining to look at. Some of it's old. A lot of it is new. Check it all out. You will not be sorry. We must also give some shout-outs to a couple of Facebook groups for allowing us to post our episodes and relevant articles on their pages. First, Two Gay Geeks After Hours. We have to give big thanks to the moderators for saying that we could share away our content there. And their URL is facebook.com/groups/Gay Geeks After Hours. And then to The Gay Geek for also allowing us to share. I'm trying to stifle a cough.
I see.
Also to The Gay Geek for allowing us to share our stuff there. And their URL is facebook.com/groups/The Gay Geek. And as always, we give special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Other places we can be found are Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Amazon Podcasts, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Sci-Fi Radio at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays for a replay. And listen to their other content. They are a 24-hour geeky internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we're kind of wrapping it up early this time, and that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for this webcast episode. We'll have several links on the page of things that we talked about. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357 from TG Squared Studios. I'm Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Don't listen to the world. Live and be your authentic self.
Authentic self.
Authentic self, no matter what. Please be kind to yourself and those around you. Stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Peace.
Cheers.